It's time!
Every crypto investor wants to figure out what it will be that kicks off the next bull run into that high gear, where everyone, the media, your mom, maybe even your grandparents are talking about crypto and the prices are pumping by 5% to 10% daily. So do I know what it will be? Well, you know what I always say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. So let's find out what the bull run spark will be, because it's time for Chico Crypto. It seems like a lifetime ago, but do you remember the parabolic movements during the bull run hype at the end of 2020 throughout 2021? Well, if you have forgotten, let me refresh your memory. Elon Musk and his support for Bitcoin and even some altcoins were a major reason the markets blew up like they did. As we can see, after the blow-off top at the end of 2017, BTC went into a brutal bear market, and the prices weren't pushing back to the previous all-time highs of 20K until 3 years later, late 2020. BTC was struggling to break 20K, but in December, Elon made this break look like a piece of cake. Elon tweeted memes about Bitcoin, discussed the asset and transaction sizes with Michael Saylor, and even tweeted that Bitcoin was his safe word. As we can see, after these tweets, the price smashed 20K, it then smashed 30K, and then it jumped all the way up to 40K by the next month, early January of 2021. Could Elon make the price go even higher? Well, we can see that the price dipped down to 30K in January too. Well, in late January, he changed his Twitter profile to include the word Bitcoin, and on the same day tweeted, in retrospect, it was inevitable. Shortly after that tweet, only days after, the price bounced off of 30K and rocketed up to 50K. And then finally in February, Elon announced that Tesla had bought a bunch of Bitcoins and was adding the asset to its balance sheet. Shortly after this was announced, Bitcoin hit above 60K for the first time. Elon's influence over the last bull run is highly underappreciated by crypto investors far and wide. Well, let me tell you, the naysayers who hate on Elon, he is once again going to influence the parabolic movements of this next bull run. The writing is on the wall that it is coming. So what exactly is coming, Chico? Well, let me break it down for you real quick. If you didn't notice, big changes are coming to Twitter, of which Elon is now the owner of. Twitter is being rebranded, no longer called Twitter, but called X. The bird logo is gone, replaced with just an X. So what does this mean? Well, if you didn't know, Elon Musk was a part of the world's first online bank, PayPal, which was originally called X.com, as we can see from the branded cards. And PayPal was just a product of theirs. Who founded X.com, the original PayPal? Elon Musk. Now, Luke Nosek was also one of the original founders of the PayPal product that launched out of X.com. And Luke explained in 2019 what was the original vision of PayPal, aka X.com.
Many people don't know this, but the mission of PayPal was to create a global currency that was independent of interference by these corrupt cartels of banks and governments that were debasing their currencies. And we succeeded at building something very economically very powerful, enabled many small businesses. We're super proud of it, but we never achieved the mission.
They originally wanted to create a decentralized currency that wasn't controlled by the banking cartels and governments who could debase currencies. Was there ever a side project going on in the early days of PayPal when it was X.com? A side project that could have been a decentralized currency? Well, Elon might have gave us a hint back in January of 2021. Elon tweeted x.com/X with a meme that showed his whole body was hurting because the domain for a side project he never launched was up for renewal. Was that side project the original vision of Bitcoin? Were they attempting to build a true online bank that ran off of a digital currency? I think so. Well, now it seems Elon is bringing back this original vision with his purchase of Twitter. He is looking to take Twitter beyond just a social network into an everything app, which includes using money that isn't powered and controlled by groups of banks and governments. Elon has tweeted that his purchase of Twitter was just an accelerant for X, what he calls the everything app. He said this all the way back in October of last year. So what is this everything app? Well, Elon retweeted the CEO of the newly rebranded X, Linda Yesarino, explaining that. This is what she said about it. X is the future state of unlimited interactivity, centered in audio, video, messaging, payments, and banking, creating a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities, powered by AI. X will connect us in ways we're just beginning to imagine. The X app will be centered around payments and banking, where a global marketplace will take shape for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities. Well, what is X gonna do?
X gon' give it to you.
Elon explained this in an interview just 2 days ago, that they were aiming high.
Essentially, if done right, the X would be would serve people's financial needs to such a degree that over time it would become, I don't know, maybe half of the global financial system.
X is aiming to take a fair chunk of the global financial system, half of it if done right. How will they accomplish this? Well, Elon explains.
It would be by far the biggest sort of financial institution, but like I said, not really in the way that people are used to thinking about banks. Mm-hmm. Just the most efficient database for the thing that is money. Like I said, like least amount of fraud, everything's real time.
The key there is he describes X as becoming the most efficient database for the thing we call money. So will X be based on the government's databases? Does Elon like money in its current form? Well, let's listen to his own words on this during the Lex Fridman podcast from December of last year.
Well, the government effectively has editing privileges on the money database, and they use those editing privileges to make more money whenever they want. And this increases the error in the database that is money.
He dislikes the current form of databases for money because governments control it and can edit them. What does he see as a better database? Let's listen in.
And then say what system, from an information theory standpoint, allows an economy to function the best. Crypto is an attempt to reduce the error in money that is contributed by governments diluting the money supply as basically a pernicious form of taxation.
Crypto is a better database for money. So when Musk talked about this just a couple days ago, about X being the most efficient database for money, he meant it would involve crypto. So what cryptocurrencies will be added into X for payments? Well, on the day of the X rebrand, Elon Musk changed his location to show X and a certain D, the D logo for Dogecoin. If you didn't know, in the past, Elon has tweeted that he was working with the Dogecoin developers, and he constantly reminds the public that it is his favorite cryptocurrency. Obviously, Dogecoin will be included in some form, but what else? Well, you just have to dive into the current X payment features to figure it out. If you didn't know, on mobile, X currently has a creator tipping feature where people can tip in fiat currencies, but also 2 other ways. If we go into edit my profile and then down to tip, we can see the 2 other payment options. People can tip with Bitcoin or with Ethereum. So I'm predicting right now this next bull run is going to be lifted into parabolic mode once Elon starts tweeting hints about their cryptocurrency plans. He has already been dropping little breadcrumbs, but once he directly mentions Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge can be used within the X app for all of its coming payment features, the markets are going to go wild. Remember, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Well, my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on X at ChicoCrypto and at Leaks Blockchain. And of course, come join the chat on Telegram where I talk about my coming content early. t.me/ChicoCrypto. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.
The most trustless name in